going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, I'm bringing you another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm going to be talking about Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck, and ARod because, you guys, the tea is piping hot. We have this new report about ARod allegedly banning any Jennifer Lopez music being played in his presence, so clearly, he's not over things. Meanwhile, we now have more insight into Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's European getaway and all the PDA they were showing. Plus, they were reportedly also seen spending one of their last days in Europe in a jewelry store, and I can't lie to you guys, when I initially read that headline, I started to panic a little bit. The upper lip sweat started to go because I felt like they were moving way too fast, and because a lot of you are like me, I'm gonna go ahead and put you at ease right away. The report did say they did not look at any rings yet. It's amazing how that little word "yet" means so much, and I understand that these two were engaged at some point before, but I don't know, it just feels like they're really going from 0 to 100 real quick. Regardless though, we have a lot to discuss here, so let's not waste any time and get straight to unwrapping these J-Lo, Ben Affleck, and ARod facts. Alright, so first up, just because it made me giggle a little bit, let's talk about this tea-filled report about ARod. This is a new report from Radar Online, and the source dropped the bombshell saying, quote, "Alex has banned Jen's music from playing when he is around. The breakup was ugly and still hurts, which is why Alex doesn't want to hear her voice when he is out trying to enjoy himself." This insider then went on to give a little insight into ARod's no J-Lo music rule, saying that while he was recently in St. Tropez, him and his friends were having a good time and dancing. Then the source went on to pose a question saying, quote, "Can you imagine how embarrassing it would be for Alex to be partying and suddenly her music starts to play?" What's even more interesting about this no J-Lo music around ARod is the fact that it's allegedly starting to expand past his friend group. As the source went on to say that places in the Hamptons have prepared to not put J-Lo's music into rotation when ARod is around. What? This source then ended their insider info with a little joke saying, quote, "If you really want to make Alex happy, play Mariah." Honestly, not mad at that suggestion, and while I would love to just pop off about this right now, I'm gonna hold back and give you guys the tea on Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. So as you all know by now, Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck have been vacationing all around Europe for the past couple of weeks. They were there to celebrate J-Lo's 52nd birthday. In addition to that, I know you guys also know that J-Lo and Ben Affleck took this trip as an opportunity to show all the PDA. Honestly, this trip is the most PDA they've showed since they reconnected. We had the recreation of the Jenny from the Block music video when Jen and Ben were on the yacht, and we also have these photos from when they got very handsy during a lunch. Let's just say they've been really living it up. And now, thankfully, we have a little more insight into all of Jen and Ben's European PDA in a new report from Us Magazine. As this Us Magazine source said, quote, "Jen and Ben were packing on the PDA on the boat, and for Instagram, they wanted to share their love with the world." The source added that J-Lo called this birthday her, quote, "best one yet," and the source also noted that Jen and Ben are, quote, "ready to be a full public couple." Yeah, I'd say these two are definitely not hiding their relationship from the public anymore, especially because in a new report from TMZ, we learned that Jen and Ben spent one of their last days in Europe shopping in a jewelry store. But apparently, no ring was purchased yet. One store in Capri actually spoke to TMZ, and the employee said that J-Lo tried on several expensive pieces of jewelry, necklaces, and earrings, and that her and Ben were taking pictures and being flirty and fun in the store. However, this employee reported that they did not look at rings and actually left without purchasing anything. Which honestly isn't that surprising. Most of the time, celebrities will go look at a jewelry store, leave, and then call and make a purchase. That way the items can be shipped. And it's also not that surprising that Ben didn't buy J-Lo anything right there in the store because he did buy her a very expensive birthday gift. According to multiple outlets and multiple reports, Ben gave J-Lo a Fondre custom charm necklace, and he reportedly picked out specific things to represent their relationship. The creative director and co-founder actually spoke to E! News and said, quote, "With the custom piece Ben created for Jennifer, it clearly communicated their love, but it's also a reminder of their capacity for change and growth." And also, according to In Touch Weekly, Ben picked out several pieces of jewelry to make this custom piece, and it came at the price tag of $45,000. So yeah, I think it's okay that Ben didn't buy anything for Jen in that last jewelry store, at least that we know of. Not to mention, on top of that, J-Lo was also seen in Italy wearing Ben's name on her necklace, and she was also spotted wearing a Harry Winston diamond bracelet that Ben gave her back when they were dating in the early 2000s. So honestly, at this point, no ring, no problem, because clearly J-Lo is stacked when it comes to the jewelry department from Ben Affleck. Alright, you guys, I clearly have some thoughts about all of this tea, so let's not waste any more time and get to that shambong. That has never happened before! The champagne bottle went wild! It's because It knows it's good tea. It knows it's good tea. I am crying. Look at that. We're not backing down, you guys. We're not backing down. I'm dying. That's seriously freaking hilarious. Okay, let me get cleaned up and then we're gonna pop off. Whew, sorry about that. I'm still not over it, and I actually think it's pretty funny that we've gone this long doing pop-offs with Maddison and we haven't had a bottle of champagne explode. Anyway, the first thing we're going to talk about is Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck and their European vacation, because I feel like I haven't talked about it a ton on here, and I've been talking about it predominantly on TikTok and through my YouTube shorts. So here's the thing. I'll admit, I did get to a point where I felt like all of the PDA that they were showing in Europe did start to feel a little stunty for me. From the recreation of the Jenny from the Block photo to all of that PDA they were showing at lunch. I mean, she was literally doing everything short of straddling Ben at the table. It just felt like they were really amping it up for the cameras. However, then I took off my PR hat and I put on my hopeless romantic hat, and I thought maybe they both really did just pick up where they left off, and maybe they both really are in it this time, which I'm not gonna lie to you guys, based on their past, I'm not sure how they could entirely do that, but at the same time, it has been 17 years. They've both been through a lot, so it is definitely possible. I don't know, I really do go back and forth on this, because on one hand, I don't fully believe this whole, we just want to share our love with the world act, but then on the other hand, I kind of do believe it, and I do feel like, you know what, maybe J-Lo and ARod weren't as strong as we all thought. Maybe there wasn't a lot of love there like we all thought. Maybe she did reconnect with Ben and she is feeling things that she hasn't felt for a long time. I really do go back and forth at this point. Now, as far as Mr. ARod and that J-Lo music ban, let's get into that. You guys, I cannot lie, when I read that headline this morning, I absolutely just started dying laughing. And you know what? I'm not even gonna pretend like I don't believe it, because I absolutely do. Now, do I think that ARod held a meeting at the beginning of his European vacation and was like, friends and family, we will not be playing Jennifer Lopez's music because it's too hard for me to hear and it would be embarrassing if her music came on? Absolutely not. But I feel like it was definitely an unspoken rule on the trip. Everyone was giving each other the side eye like, hey, you know, J-Lo music is an absolute no-go. I feel like it was more of that situation. And on top of that, the fact that news of this ban is going past the friend group and going to establishments in the Hamptons where ARod's been spending time in the summer, that is absolutely wild. But also I get it, because I'm sure these bars and restaurants in the Hamptons are like, hey, if we want ARod to give us business and spend his money here, no Jenny from the Block will be coming from these speakers. It's just crazy to me. And you know what, I've said this before and I want to say it again, because I feel like some people are probably going to be like, wow, Maddison, you're being really harsh on ARod. Like, he did go through a breakup. He did just have a 2-year engagement end. Yes, I understand that, but part of the reason, allegedly, why that engagement ended was because ARod was trying to slide into other people's DMs. He was trying to slide into other girls' DMs. And he is known to be a cheater before J-Lo. He clearly hasn't learned his lesson. He clearly hasn't changed his ways. So honestly, it's hard for me to give sympathy to someone who clearly has an inability to just keep it in his pants and be with one woman. That's why reports like this make me chuckle about ARod. And actually, I've learned there are a lot of people who feel like ARod is not upset at this breakup at all. And I could not disagree more. Do I think that ARod is necessarily upset that he lost Jennifer Lopez and isn't going to spend the rest of his life with Jennifer Lopez? Honestly, no. I think ARod's issue is the fact that his ego is absolutely bruised. Jennifer Lopez ended the relationship and literally a few weeks later was spotted with Ben Affleck. And now 3 months after their engagement ended, they were both in Europe at the same time. She's living it up, having all these PDA moments with Ben Affleck. Meanwhile, the only woman ARod was spotted out with was an ESPN reporter, and immediately reports came out saying they're just friends. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I think it's an ego issue for him, and he's making it so freaking obvious. That post he did on his Instagram story about the Big D energy, you might as well have just captioned it, hey J-Lo, look at me. That's the vibes I'm getting from the situation. And again, because his wandering eye is part of the reason why they're in the situation in the first place, I don't feel bad for him. But again, that's just my own opinion. That's just how I feel, and now I'm ready to hear what you think. What do you think about all of this Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck, and ARod tea that we discussed? I want to hear all your thoughts and feels down below. While you're at it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you follow me over on my Instagram and my TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep checking back on my YouTube channel for my YouTube shorts. Also, you guys, make sure you check out my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.